the officials at first seemingly downplayed this monstrous attack.
Do you think that this rises to the level of a hate crime?
We're still investigating it, and if the facts guide us to in that direction, then we'll certainly charge them appropriately.
Kids make stupid decisions. I shouldn't call them kids, they're legally adults, but they're young adults and they make stupid decisions.
Police today now saying there was never a doubt that it was a hate crime. The president of the Dallas Fallen Officers Foundation, he's Dallas Police Officer Sergeant Demetri Penny with me now. Good to have you, sir. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Sergeant, the victim was kicked, punched, and stomped. This is beyond a, quote, stupid decision, don't you think?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this definitely shows that there's a problem with the leadership there in Chicago, especially the civilian leadership. There shouldn't have been any doubt about whether or not these individuals were going to be charged with a hate crime. They attacked this young man based on his race, and they screamed it, you know, all these profane words about, you know, because of his race. And yeah, this was a hate crime, and those individuals should be held to the full extent of the law. But the bigger issue here is that social media is to blame. Facebook is to blame. Yesterday, when everything first came out, I reached out to the intelligence group down in New York, GOPEC, and I asked them to follow it, see whether or not Facebook was going to pull this down. And Facebook, true enough, this morning they came out and they said they took it down. And guess what? On one internet account, on one social media account, it has been shared 51,000 times. It's been shared 8,000 times, been viewed 51,000 times. So that tells you that there's a problem with social media. Yeah, it's time to regulate Facebook. It's time to regulate Instagram and Twitter. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sorry, it was trending. Are you worried, again, I've been talking to law enforcement about issues like this. Are you worried that, you know, people are reveling in this on social media and could be copycatting? Is that an issue?
It definitely is an issue. I've said for months that these guys are radicalized and using social media. In fact, it's trending with BLM kidnapping, Black Lives Matter kidnapping. So they can't say that they're not supporting Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, but there's no indication Black Lives Matter was connected. But I hear what you're saying, that it's trending.
Black Lives Matter is connected. They are connected.
Well, we don't know that.
This intelligence group is definitely following that trend.
Okay.
We've been following these communication strands for the longest of time, and now I'll tell you, social media cannot hide behind Section 230 anymore, the Communications Decency Act, saying that they're immune for not taking this stuff down.
All right,
they have a responsibility, and they should be regulated.
Again, the police have not come forward to say if BLM is connected. But what do you make of the hesitancy at first to call it a hate crime right from the get-go, even though state law says, you know, attacks like that due to race or mental disability is a hate crime? What do you make of the hesitancy at the outset?
They're playing politics. They're playing politics. We need to move from a society of constantly saying that we're going to rehabilitate criminals, right? We facilitate so much of these behaviors. We allow them to get out of jail saying that we're going to rehabilitate them. And guess what? They go out here and they kill somebody. They do it over and over again. Now it's time to start holding individuals accountable. We need to become a society where we start punishing individuals for these type of behaviors that are radical, and these individuals should not be in society doing anything.
You know, Sergeant, I want to get back to the point that you're making about social media, and this is not the first time that a crime in Chicago was broadcast on Facebook Live. In fact, a terrorist in France was broadcasting his attack and the aftermath of assaulting a police officer and his partner in France. That terrorist was live streaming on Facebook. What can be done about things like this?
Well, what can be done is social media can be accountable, and they can, you know, employ the technology to pull down these communication strands. They're not pulling them down. They're leaving them up, and they're allowing them to proliferate. The share button on their social media is the problem.
Can you stay on that for a second?
They can take it down.
Forgive me,
yes,
team, because I want the sergeant to respond to this. Somehow Facebook can stop child porn right at the doorstep. They don't allow it on their site. But how come social media can allow things like this on their websites? Don't get it. Go ahead. Final word.
Well, they say don't violate their terms and conditions. Just like months ago when the slasher image of the police officer having his neck slit was trending on social media.
Right.
I asked them several times to take it down, and they didn't. They said it didn't violate their terms and conditions. So this shows you that they are now becoming part of the problem, and they, whether we like it or not, social media is in fact facilitating domestic terrorism in this country.
All right, and
they're becoming harbors of these.
Big brand, big brand reputation is at stake here, Sergeant. I'm sorry, we ran out of time. I wish I had more time with you, Sergeant. He is Dallas Police Sergeant Demetric Penny, and we thank you for your service to our country, Sergeant.